The hidden cost of half commitment is wasted time. And most organizations don't even realize how much of it that they're actually losing. I mean, think about it. People walk into meetings with their half-formed ideas that aren't really ready for a decision yet. And so instead of moving on that idea, the team keeps talking about it. And then another meeting gets scheduled, and the decision slows down, and eventually hesitation becomes just part of that team's culture. But then when you have an accelerating team's calendar, it looks way different. They spend less time trying to talk their way into the perfect answer and more time testing their way towards it. Their mindset is, hey, we're going to find the ways that work through the ways that don't. Because failure is not something to avoid. Failure is the roadmap that helps them make that next decision faster. The thing that slows most organizations down when they're trying to accelerate is over-diagnosing what went wrong. In the first week, they schedule postmortems, they collect more feedback, they pull more people into meetings, and then they delay the next decision until everybody agrees on exactly why that latest attempt failed. They go from action to talking again. It feels like acceleration because the calendar is really full and the team is busy analyzing everything, but speed stops when you keep studying a lesson that you should have already been applying. Accelerating teams, they still learn from failure, but they don't wait for a perfect diagnosis. They identify the latest useful lesson, they make that little adjustment, and they go out and test again. Failure should become a roadmap for the next move, not a reason to delay it. Healthy risk creates better performance because ownership always outlasts incentives. And this is what I mean. The highest performers out there, they don't give 100% because someone offers them a bigger reward. They give 100% because they understand what's at stake, and they also believe that the outcome belongs to them. They own it. Most organizations, they try to motivate people backwards. Think about it. You've seen it. Leadership identifies a problem. Leadership creates the solution. Leadership announces the plan. And then they offer a reward to the team members to execute on that fix, on that plan. The assumption is that a bigger incentive will create greater effort. And sometimes it actually does that, but that's only usually for a little while. It never lasts for long. High-performing teams, though, they work differently. High-performing teams have the leaders might still identify that problem, but they invite the people closest to the work into solving that. Employees actually help to shape that solution. They understand why it matters. They see exactly what happens if the problem isn't fixed. They own it. By the time leadership makes the final decision, that team, that high-performing team, they aren't just executing someone else's plan. They're executing a solution that they themselves helped build. And that's where healthy risk comes from. It's not fear. It's not a bigger bonus. It's ownership. And so when people understand the stakes and feel responsible for the outcome, urgency becomes intrinsic. And I tell leaders to date the trophy. I'm not encouraging them to forget about it. Those external rewards are fine, but I want them to marry the stakes. Because rewards may get someone's attention at first, but it's ownership that'll sustain that great performance. When the risk disappears, performance slowly becomes optional. You've seen this. Teams don't usually lose talent or capability overnight, do they? They lose ownership because people stop believing that the outcome has any meaningful impact beyond just collecting their paychecks. I saw this happen inside a franchise organization recently. There was a new manager that was brought in, and she really wanted to create more positive cultures. And so instead of just kind of helping the team reconnect with the mission, she started trying to motivate everyone with these $50 gift cards every day. The thought was really simple. That it's going to reduce the pressure, it's going to increase the rewards, and performance is going to improve. The problem was it actually had the opposite effect. Within about 3 months, urgency dropped, accountability kind of softened, and people started treating the team's goals like suggestions. The problem wasn't the size of the reward, by the way. $100 gift cards wouldn't have made any difference. It was that the reward had replaced ownership. People were working for just a gift card instead of working towards something meaningful. And so we changed the conversation. Instead of talking about gift cards, we started talking about what their increased bonuses were actually going to change in their lives by them hitting their targets. For instance, one employee, I remember this, wanted to pay off lingering credit card that was kind of financially choking her, as she described it. Another employee wanted to take her family on a vacation that they'd been talking about for the past 10 years. And so the bonuses, the reward really didn't change. When it came to their paychecks, they all knew what they would get if they win, but its meaning changed. That's when the culture started to change. People weren't chasing a trophy anymore. They were pursuing something that mattered to them personally, and those conversations created these heartstrings that tied the team together. Because that employee that finally got to take her family on that vacation, she was met with applause and excitement and tons of high fives when she stepped back into work after succeeding on that team goal. The extrinsic rewards then, they stayed exactly the same, but it was the intrinsic motivations behind it that completely changed everything for that organization.